Get ready for a quick quest guide for the Barbarian Training Miniquest, in which the main rewards for completing are access to the ancient Cavern and Mithril dragons, access to Barbarian and Barehanded Fishing, the ability to make Herblore mixes, the ability to craft spears and Hastas, the ability to plant seeds without a seed dibber and destroy pots upon planting saplings, as well as access to the Barbarian Firemaking and Pyre ships. The only quest requirement for this is Tai Bwo Wannai Trio, and in terms of skills you'll need 55 fishing, 35 firemaking, 35 strength, 15 agility, 15 farming, 11 crafting, 5 smithing, and 4 herblore. On top of this, 70 combat is recommended, with you needing to kill multiple level 304 Mithril dragons in order to complete this mini quest. When it comes to items, you'll need around 10 of any type of allotment seed. For example, potato seeds. You'll also need any tree sapling, a rake, a spade, 200 coins, and any basic bow. For example, a regular or an oak short bow. On top of this, you'll want a tinderbox, an axe you can use, around 10 fishing bait or alternatively 10 feathers, a knife, a hammer, a 2-dose attack potion, 2 bronze bars, 2 regular logs, and some oak logs. You'll also want either another regular logs or alternatively, if you have both 85 crafting and 85 firemaking, then some magic logs, as this will allow you to complete an Elite Kandaren achievement diary task during the mini quest. So yeah, there's quite a lot that you'll need. When it comes to recommended items, you'll most notably need a setup to kill Mithril dragons, including both armor and weapons. Note that this can all be banked when starting the mini quest. If you have access to any Dragonbane weapons, then you'll definitely want to lean into their associated style. So for example, a magic setup if you have a Dragon Hunter wand, a range setup if you have a Dragon Hunter crossbow, or a melee setup if using a Dragon Hunter lance. Melee and range setups really do require quite high stats, like base 80s and their respective Dragonbane weapons, or a Fang also works for melee. I know these are very expensive, and so if you want a budget setup, then I'd lean into magic and capitalize on Mithril dragons having a 50% earth spell weakness. Also, while not required, having a metal dragon slayer task will also greatly help here too. You'll need to kill Mithril dragons until you receive a chewed bones drop, which has around a 1 in 43 drop rate, and so make sure that you have plenty of ammo or runes, as well as anti-fire or extended anti-fire potions, prayer potions, and combat boosting potions. For example, ranging potions if using ranged. You'll also want an anti-dragon shield and high healing food. When it comes to teleports, you'll want a fully charged games necklace, a charged Amulet of Glory, either a charged Ring of Wealth or 1 Falador teleport, and additionally 1 Camelot teleport. Now you can begin this mini quest at Otto's hut in Otto's grotto, which is easily reached by using a games necklace to teleport to the Barbarian outpost before running south and just a tiny bit southwest. To start, talk to Otto Godblessed and begin by asking, "You think so?" And while you can choose whichever you like here, we'll start by selecting, "Please teach me of your cunning with harpoons," before continuing through the chat. And when more chat options appear, just click off from the chat. Next, use your Amulet of Glory to teleport to Karamja before going a tad east to the docks. Here simply find a harpoon spot and select a harpoon fish at it. And then just wait a little while until you catch a fish, which you can then drop. After hauling up a fish, use your games necklace to teleport to the Barbarian outpost before running south and a little bit southwest back to Otto in his hut. Now talk to Otto and immediately say, "I've fished with my hands," before continuing through the chat until more dialogue options appear. Then select, "I seek more knowledge," and afterwards select, "What can I learn about the use of a fishing rod?" before continuing through the chat until more chat options appear, and once they do, just click off of the chat. Following the chat, search Otto's Barbarian bed within the hut to obtain a Barbarian rod, and then simply head out of the hut and go a little bit north before using the rod at one of the nearby fishing spots until you catch a few leaping fish. After catching some fish, use your knife on them for a chance to obtain roe. You simply want to do this until you have at least 1 roe before continuing. Once you have a roe, head back into Otto's house a little bit south and chat to him before saying, "I've fished with a Barbarian rod," and after some more chatter say, "I seek more knowledge," and follow this up with, "I'm ready for your fire-making wisdom. please instruct me. And after some more dialogue, when more chat options appear, just click off of the chat. Next, use your oak logs on your short bow, which will see you light a fire. After you've successfully done this, chat to Otto once again and begin by saying, "I've set fire to logs with a bow." Then follow up with, "I seek more knowledge." And afterwards, "What was that secret knowledge of Herblore we talked of?" And then continue through the chat, clicking off from it when more chat options appear. Next, being careful not to eat it, right click and use your row from earlier on your 2-dose attack potion to create an attack mix. Once the mix has been made, chat to Otto and firstly say, "I've made a barbarian potion," before continuing the chat and saying, "I seek more knowledge," and then asking, "Tell me more about the use of spears," before continuing through the chat and clicking off when more chat options appear. Now go slow here. Firstly, use one of your bronze bars on the barbarian anvil just south of the house. Then very importantly, ensure that you select to only make one and then choose to make a bronze spear. Reminder, only make one. After the spear's been made, return to Otto's house and talk to him and firstly say, "I've created a spear," before following up with, "I seek more knowledge," and then saying, "Tell me more about the use of spears." Then just continue through the chat and when more dialogue options appear, just click off of the chat. Next, head back to the barbarian anvil just south of the house and use your remaining bronze bar on it, and this time select to make a bronze Hasta. Once you've made the Hasta, return to Otto's hut and chat to him. And firstly say, "I've created a Hasta." And following some more chatter say, "I seek more knowledge," followed by, "How can I use my strength in the ways of agriculture?" And then go through the chat before clicking off from it when more chat options appear. Following this, teleport to Camelot and then run east to the farming patches. After arriving, rake or clear one of the allotment patches if needed so it's clear and empty. And afterwards use your allotment seeds, for example your potato seeds, on the empty patch to plant it. Seeds planted, it's time to return to Otto. For this, use your games necklace to teleport to the barbarian outpost before running south and a little bit southwest back to Otto in his hut. Chat to Otto and firstly say, "I've planted seeds with my fists," and then go through the dialogue before saying, "I seek more knowledge," and then asking, "Are there any other fist-related farming activities I can learn?" And continuing through the chat, clicking off from it when more chat options appear. Next, use your Ring of Wealth to teleport to Falador, or use your Falador teleport before running a tad east to the garden, and then focus on the farming patch just east. If you have a tree in the farming spot, either chop it down and clear it with your spade, or select to pay Heskel and select yes to pay her 200 coins to clear it. Once the patch is clear, use your tree sapling on the tree patch to plant it while smashing the pot. Now before returning back to Otto, it's time to head to the bank just south and gear up to kill multiple Mithril dragons. Firstly, let's look at Mithril dragons themselves. They're level 304 and they drop the chewed bones that you need at a rate of around 1 in 43. They max it at 28 with melee and 18 with ranged and magic, or 50 with dragonfire. But don't worry, you'll of course be using dragonfire protection. To block their dragonfire, you'll need either a combination of an anti-dragon shield and an anti-fire or extended anti-fire potion, or alternatively a super anti-fire potion will completely block it. While you can take them on with any combat style, melee and range setups really do require quite high stats, like base 80s and their respective Dragonbane weapons, or a Fang also works for melee. Note that if you're using melee to fight them, then you'll want to pray protect from melee. This leaves magic as a great option for lower leveled players, and killing them with magic is made extra accessible thanks to Mithril Dragon's 50% Earth spell weakness. If you're on a budget and have low leveled gear, then earth spells are definitely your friend. Of course, if you have a Dragon Hunter wand, then you'll definitely want to be using that as well. Note that if you're using ranged or magic to fight the Mithril Dragons, then you'll want to use the Protect from Ranged prayer. Alright, back to gearing. Now you can deposit everything that you currently have on you besides your games necklace, and then gear up to take on the Mithril Dragons. Don't forget your armor to go along with your weapon of choice, as well as ammo or runes if needed. You'll also want your anti-dragon shield, anti-fire or extended anti-fire potions, prayer potions, combat boosting potions, for example a ranging potion if using ranged, and high healing food. Of course, everyone's setup will also be a little bit different depending on what you have access to. Once you're all geared up, it's time to return to Otto. For this, use your game's necklace to teleport to the Barbarian outpost, and then run south and a little bit southwest back to Otto in his hut. Talk to Otto and firstly say, "I've smashed a pot whilst farming." Then follow this up by saying, "I seek more knowledge," and afterwards, "I have completed firemaking with a bow, what follows this?" Before continuing through the chat where Otto reveals how to enter the ancient cavern. When more chat options appear, simply click off from the chat. Alrighty, it's time to kill Mithril dragons until you obtain chewed bones. Firstly, to enter the ancient cavern, exit Otto's house and then run north, before looping around and heading south along the dock so that you're in front of a whirlpool. Once you're ready, select to dive into the whirlpool, and afterwards say, "Yes, I wish to enter the unknown," to then dive on inside. Now drink your anti-fire, extended anti-fire, or super anti-fire potion and pop on protect from ranged, and then simply run a little east and climb down the stairs. Afterwards run southeast for a short ways and climb up some more stairs when you come across them, which leads you to an area with the Mithril dragons. And you know what's coming next. It's time to attack and kill Mithril dragons until you get a chewed bones drop, which have around a 1 in 43 drop rate. Also, please don't hate me if you go dry here. Now this could take you a while, anywhere from a minute or two to a few hours, so I suggest popping on a show or something as you do this. Remember, if using melee, then pray protect from melee, and if using ranged or magic, then keep your distance and pray protect from ranged. Once you run out of supplies, you can simply use your game's necklace to teleport back to the Barbarian outpost before running east into the building and restocking at the bank chest. Then simply run southwest back to the whirlpool and dive back in before making your way back to the Mithril dragons. I'm mainly showing my kills with the Dragon Hunter wand, but I'll also pop in a kill with my test account that did it in a much more budget setup to show that it's really doable even if you don't have high level gear. Once you eventually get a chewed bones drop, hooray, you can finally continue. After getting the drop, use your game's necklace to teleport to the Barbarian outpost and then head east to the bank. You don't have to deposit everything like I did, and here simply withdraw your axe, logs and a tinderbox. And make sure that you keep your chewed bones on you. A reminder that while you can use regular logs, if you have both 85 crafting and 85 firemaking, then using magic logs will allow you to complete an Elite Kandaren achievement diary task. Once you've banked, then run west out of the building before then going south, running to the Pyre site that's nearby to the whirlpool along the shoreline. After reaching it, select construct on the Pyre site, and then just wait a moment as you make it and then burn it, laying a spirit to rest. After this is done, run west and then south back to Otto's house. After arriving at his hut, chat to Otto and begin by saying, "Let's talk about my training," before following up with, "I've created a Pyre ship." Then simply continue through the chat, and when more dialogue options appear, you can click off of the chat. And with that, the mini quest is complete. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next quest.